Brought to you by WikiVidi.com. Blake Shelton. Blake Tollison Shelton is an American singer-songwriter, actor and television personality. In 2001, he made his debut with the single Austin, the lead-off single from his self-titled debut album. Austin spent 5 weeks at #1 on the Billboard Hot Country Songs chart. The now platinum-certified debut album also produced 2 more top 20 entries. Although the album was released on Giant Records Nashville, he was transferred to Warner Brothers Records Nashville after Giant closed in late 2001. His second and third albums, 2003's The Dreamer, and 2004's Blake Shelton's Barn, Pure BS, was reissued in 2008 with a cover of Michael Bublé's pop hit Home as one of the bonus tracks. His fifth album, Startin Fires, was released in November 2008. It was followed by the extended plays Hillbilly, Bone and All About Tonight in 2010, and the albums Red River Blue in 2011, based on a true story, in 2013, Bringing Back the Sunshine in 2014, and If I'm Honest in 2016. Overall, in the country charts, Blake Shelton has charted 33 singles, including 24 number ones, 17 of which were consecutive. The 11th number one broke the record for the most consecutive number one singles in the country airplay chart's 24-year history. He is an 8-time Grammy Award nominee. Shelton is also known for his role as a judge on the televised singing competitions Nashville Star Clash of the Choirs and The Voice. He has been on The Voice since its inception in 5 of 12 seasons. A member of his team has won. From 2011 to 2015, Shelton was married to singer Miranda Lambert. Early life. Shelton was born in Ada, Oklahoma to Dorothy, a beauty salon owner, and Richard Shelton, a used car salesman. Shelton began singing at an early age, and by age 12 he was taught how to play the guitar by his uncle. By age 15 he had written his first song. By age 16, he had received a Denbo Diamond Award in his home state. On November 13, 1990, his older brother Richie Shelton was killed in an automobile accident. After graduating from high school at 17, he moved to Nashville, Tennessee to pursue a singing career. There he got a job at a music publishing company, and in 1997 he was aided by Bobby Braddock to obtain a production contract with Sony Music. 2001–2006 beginnings. Some years later in Nashville he signed to Giant Records in 2001. In 2001, he was slated to release a song entitled I Wanna Talk About Me as a single. Staff at the label considered the song unsuitable for a lead-off single, however, and the song was eventually recorded by Toby Keith, whose version was a number one single. Instead, Giant released Austin as Shelton's debut single. Shortly after its release, Giant Records was closed and Shelton was transferred to parent company Warner Brothers Records. Austin spent 5 weeks at #1 on the Billboard Hot Country Singles. Warner released his self-titled debut album, which was produced by songwriter Bobby Braddock. It also produced the top 20 hits All Over Me, which Shelton co-wrote with Earl Thomas Conley and Mike Pyle in Ole Red. Although Shelton's rendition of Ole Red was not a major radio hit, he considers it his signature song, and it has become popular in concert. Blake Shelton received a platinum certification from the Recording Industry Association of America for shipments of 1 million copies. Blake Shelton received a positive review from Maria Konecki Dinoyer of AllMusic, who called Austin tremendously imaginative and praised Shelton for including songs written by Braddock and Conley. Country Standard Time was less favorable, with Scott Homewood saying that it album just smacks of being assembled with the intent on capturing the burgeoning alternative country market. Shelton's second album, The Dreamer, was first released on February 4, 2003 on Warner Bros. Records. Its lead-off single, The Baby, reached number 1 on the country charts, holding that position for 3 weeks. Although the second and third singles only reached number 32 and number 24. The Dreamer earned gold certification as well. He, along with Andy Griggs and Montgomery Gentry, sang guest vocals on Tracy Byrd's mid-2003 single The Truth About Men. Blake Shelton's Barn. Its lead-off single, the Harley Allen co-write When Somebody Knows You That Well, peaked at number 37 on the country charts, while the follow-up Some Beach became his third number 1 hit, holding that position for 4 weeks. It was followed by a cover of Conway Twitty's 1988 single, Goodbye Time. Both this cover and its follow-up Nobody But Me reached top 10 for Shelton, as well as with his first album, Blake Shelton's Barn. Accompanying the album's release was a video collection entitled Blake Shelton's Barn Video Collection. On December 18, 2005, several of Shelton's songs, including Nobody But Me, appeared on the TV movie The Christmas Blessing, starring Neil Patrick Harris, Rebecca Gayheart, Angus T. Jones and Rob Lowe. Shelton had a small role at the end of the movie, playing himself at a benefit concert singing Nobody But Me. 2006-2011, Pure BS and Startin Fires. Shelton released his fourth studio album, Pure BS, in early 2007. Unlike with his first 3 albums, which were produced entirely by Bobby Braddock, Shelton worked with Braddock, Brent Rowan and Paul Worley as producers for this album. Its first 2 singles, Don't Make Me and The More I Drink, were both top 20 hits on the country charts, respectively, reaching number 12 and number 19. Also in late 2007, Shelton made appearances on television shows, first as a judge on the talent competition Nashville Star and later on Clash of the Choirs. Pure BS was re-released in 2008 with 3 bonus tracks, including a cover of Michael Bublé's hit single Home. This cover, released in early 2008 as the album's 3rd single, became his 4th number 1 hit in July. Home was followed in August 2008 by the single She Wouldn't Be Gone, his 14th chart entry, and his 5th number 1 hit. It was the first time in his career that he had 2 consecutive number 1s. She Wouldn't Be Gone is the lead-off to Shelton's 5th studio album, Startin Fires, which has also produced the single I'll Just Hold On. This album also includes Bear Skin Rug, a duet with Lambert. It was produced by Scott Hendricks except for one track, which was produced by Brent Rowan, and another was produced by Braddock. After I'll Just Hold On fell off the chart in October 2009, Blake Shelton released a duet with Trace Adkins titled Hillbilly Bone. It was the lead single on Shelton's EP Hillbilly Bone, released on March 2, 2010 through Reprise Records Nashville. After Hillbilly Bone reached number 1 in February, came the August release of All About Tonight, the lead-off single to his EP of the same name. In September he released the 2nd single from All About Tonight, Who Are You When I'm Not Looking, his 18th single release. He released his first greatest hits album, Loaded, the best of Blake Shelton, in November 2010. Shelton was invited to join the Grand Ole Opry during the September 28, 2010 Country Comes Home concert celebrating reopening of the Grand Ole Opry House after the Cumberland River flooded the Opry House in May 2010. The formal invitation was extended on his Twitter account, and was announced by Opry star Trace Adkins. He was formally inducted by Adkins at the October 23, 2010 Opry performance. Shelton recorded the title track for the remake of Footloose released on October 14, 2011. Shelton appeared on the 44th Annual Country Music Awards on November 10, 2010, where he performed All About Tonight and won Male Vocalist of the Year. In 2011, Shelton started working as a judge coach to singers on the NBC reality television series The Voice. 2011, 2012, The Voice, Red River Blue and Cheers It's Christmas. Blake Shelton released the album Red River Blue on July 12, 2011, led by the single Honey Bee. The song received 138,000 downloads in its first week and was certified gold in its seventh week, setting a record for the fastest gold certification by a male country singer. On June 13, 2011, in its 10th chart week, Honey Bee went to number 1 on the Hot Country Songs chart, becoming his 9th number 1 and his fastest climbing. The album was expected to debut at number 1 on the Billboard 200 with around 110,000 copies sold. God Gave Me You, a cover of a Dave Barnes song, was the album's second single. It also reached number 1. Drink on It, the fifth song on the album, hit number 1 in April 2012, giving him his 11th number 1 song. On April 30, 2012, Blake performed Over on the semi-finals of the second season of The Voice. Over became Shelton's 7th consecutive number 1, and his 12th number 1 hit to date. Blake Shelton is a coach on the NBC show The Voice. In Season 1, his finalist Dear Frampton came in second. Frampton recorded a track with Shelton titled I Will on her album Red, released December 6, 2011. Shelton returned for a second season of the show, with his finalist Jermaine Paul as the champion. In Season 3 of The Voice, Shelton's team member Cassidy Pope was declared the winner, with other Team Blake contestant Terry McDermott finishing as runner-up. Blake Shelton took the stage with Miranda Lambert at Super Bowl 46 in February 2012 to open the event by singing a duet version of America the Beautiful. It marked their first TV performance since their May 2011 wedding. In October 2012, Shelton released his first Christmas album, Cheers It's Christmas, which peaked at number 1 and No. 2 respectively on the top holiday albums and top country albums charts. Blake Shelton appears on fellow voice coach Christina Aguilera's album Lotus on the song Just a Fool. 2013-2014, based on a true story. Shortly after midnight on New Year's Day 2013, Shelton premiered a new single entitled Sure Be Cool If You Did, which was released to iTunes on January 8 and reached number 1 on the Billboard Hot Country Songs and Country Airplay chart in 2013. His 8th studio album, based on a true story, was released on March 26, 2013 and debuted at number 1 on the country chart and number 3 on the all-genre chart, by selling a career-best nearly 200,000 copies. The album's second single, Boys Round Here, released to country radio in 2013 and also reached number 1 on the country airplay chart. The album's third single, Mine Would Be You, was released to country radio on July 22, 2013. and reached number 1 on the country airplay chart in November 2013. Mine Would Be You became Shelton's 10th consecutive number 1 single, tying him with the record set by Brad Paisley in 2009. With the release of the album's 4th single, Doin' What She Likes, Shelton achieved his 11th consecutive number 1 single, thus breaking the tie. Blake Shelton received the Gene Weed Special Achievement Award for his role as a coach on The Voice at the 48th Academy of Country Music Awards in 2013. Shelton supported based on a true story, on his 10 Times Crazier tour, which began on July 19, 2013 and ended on October 5, 2013. Shelton has continued the tour into 2014 and 2015. On Season 4 of The Voice he became the winning coach for the third consecutive time, with team members Danielle Bradbury as the winner and the SWON brothers in third place. 2014–present, bringing back the sunshine and If I'm Honest. In August 2014, Shelton announced that his ninth studio album, Bringing Back the Sunshine, would be released on September 30, 2014. The album contains the singles Neon Light, Lonely Tonight, Sangria and Goner. All 4 singles have reached on the country airplay chart. On November 13, 2014, Shelton was inducted into the Oklahoma Hall of Fame for his achievements in the music industry and for the generous work he has done for his home state. Shelton later called the recognition unbelievable and an honor. In Season 7 of The Voice, Craig Wayne Boyd was crowned the winner, scoring Shelton his 4th victory. Shelton recorded a cover of Bob Dylan's 1974 hit Forever Young for the soundtrack of Max, which was released in the US on June 26, 2015. Shelton's second greatest hits album, Reloaded 20 Hits, was released on October 23, 2015. Shelton's 10th studio album, If I'm Honest, was released in May 2016. The album's first single, Came Here to Forget, was released to country radio on March 8, 2016. On November 9, 2015, Nickelodeon announced that Shelton would be the host of the 2016 Kids' Choice Awards. On April 8, 2016, a second single from the album, Savior's Shadow, was released. It impacted Christian radio on April 12, 2016. In June 2016, Shelton released SHE's Got Away with Words as the album's third overall single and second promoted country single. The song peaked at number 7 on the country airplay chart, ending Shelton's streak of 17 consecutive number 1 singles. A Guy with a Girl, the album's 4th single and third promoted country single, reached the top of the charts in early January, earning Shelton his 23rd career chart topper. Shelton recorded a song titled Friends for the soundtrack of the Angry Birds movie, which was released in the US on May 20, 2016. He also voices the character of Earl Pig. In June 2016, Shelton celebrated the grand opening of his exhibit at the Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum. The exhibit, titled Blake Shelton, based on a true story, traces Shelton's career path and achievements, encompassing his humble beginnings in Oklahoma, his Nashville origins, and his eventual path toward mainstream success and recognition through his role as a coach on The Voice. In September 2016, Shelton was selected as one of 30 artists to perform on Forever Country, a mashup track of Take Me Home, Country Roads, On the Road Again, and I Will Always Love You, celebrating 50 years of the CMA Awards. The single debuted at number 1 on Billboard's Hot Country Songs. In Season 11 of The Voice, Sundance Head was crowned the winner, giving Shelton his 5th victory on the show. In March 2017, Shelton's wax figure was unveiled for Madame Tussauds Nashville. In April 2017, Shelton was honored at the Oklahoma Creativity Ambassadors Gala, being one of 8 recipients to receive the Creativity Ambassador Medallion. Achievements: Shelton has been the recipient of 9 Country Music Association Awards, 5 Academy of Country Music Awards, 1 CMT Artist of the Year Award, and 7 CMT Music Awards. He has also received 8 American Country Awards, 3 People's Choice Awards, 2 American Music Awards, 1 Billboard Music Award and 1 iHeartRadio Music Awards among others. Shelton has won 23 BMI Awards and 22 ASCAP Awards. He was inducted into the Grand Ole Opry in 2010 for his many accomplishments in country music and into the Oklahoma Hall of Fame in 2014, attaining the highest honor one can receive from the state. In April 2013, Shelton was awarded the prestigious Gene Weed Special Achievement Award from the Academy of Country Music for his unprecedented, unique, and outstanding individual achievement in country music and television. For his work on The Voice as a television personality, Shelton received the NATPE Reality Breakthrough Award for Best Reality Personality in 2017. Shelton has garnered 8 Grammy nominations throughout his career, including nominations for Best Country Album, Best Country Solo Performance and Best Music Film. As one of the most successful country artists today, Shelton has sold over 10 million records worldwide and as of 2017 has sold in excess of 30 million singles, while having generated a total of 1.7 billion streams worldwide. Shelton has also amassed a tremendous commercial impact on the country music industry. His debut single Austin off his 2001 platinum-selling self-titled album tied the record set by Billy Ray Cyrus in 1992, staying atop the country charts for 5 weeks and setting the mark for an artist's debut single in the broadcast data systems era. The success of Austin also led Shelton to claim the position on both Billboard's Hot Country Singles and Top Country Singles sales chart, making him the first debut male country artist to own the top spot on both charts simultaneously. Later in 2010, Shelton's first single, Honey Bee, from his 6th studio album Red River Blue, set a new record for the most first-week downloads by a male country singer. As a result of the downloads, the song debuted at number 13 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart, dated for the week ending April 23, 2011. This entry made Shelton the highest debuting male country artist on the Hot 100 since Garth Brooks debuted at number 5 in September 1999. As a result of the song's massive commercial success, Shelton also claimed the record for the fastest rising single ever to sell over 500,000 digital copies by a male country soloist. In 2013, Shelton's 8th album, based on a true story, spawned the hit Doin' What She Likes, which broke the record previously set by Brad Paisley in 2009 for the most consecutive singles in the country airplay chart's 24-year history, since it was first tracked by Nielsen Broadcast Data Systems in January 1990. In 2016 came Here to Forget, the lead-off single from Shelton's 10th studio album, If I'm Honest, extended this streak into a record-breaking 17 consecutive #1 singles, leading him to surpass Earl Thomas Conley's record of 16 consecutive #1 singles. As of 2017, Shelton remains one of only 5 country artists to have achieved status on the Billboard Artist 100 chart, having charted all 156 weeks the chart has existed. The CMA Awards also recognizes Shelton, in addition to George Strait and Vince Gill, as the record holders for the most male vocalist of the year wins, as all 3 have each garnered 5 victories. On January 18, 2017, Shelton made People's Choice Awards history by becoming the first country artist to ever win the all-genre category of favorite album over competitors Beyoncé, Drake, Rihanna, and Ariana Grande. During the ceremony, Shelton also took home the trophy for favorite male country artist, marking his 2nd consecutive win in the category. In 2016, Billboard released the list of greatest of all-time country artists, and recognized Shelton on the chart, ranking him at 0. Shelton also charted on Billboard's list of Greatest of All-Time Country Albums and Greatest of All-Time Country Songs, with Based on a True Story taking the position of 1 on the chart and God Gave Me You ranking at 0 on the chart respectively. Personal life. Shelton married longtime girlfriend Kate Gurn on November 17, 2003. They divorced in 2006. In 2005, Shelton met singer Miranda Lambert at the CMT's 100 Greatest Duets concert. Lambert also sang background vocals on his cover of Michael Bublé's song Home, which became a #1 single on the Hot Country Songs chart. On May 9, 2010, after dating for 4 years, Shelton proposed to Lambert after seeking her father's blessing. Shelton and Lambert were married on May 14, 2011 in Boerne, Texas. On January 17, 2012, Shelton's father Dick, 71, died in Oklahoma following a period of declining health. Shelton's brother Richie died in 1990, when Blake was 14 years old. Blake and Lambert wrote about Richie in Lambert's song Over You. The song was named CMA Song of the Year for 2012. It was also named Single Record and Song of the Year at the 2013 Academy of Country Music Awards. In July 2015, Shelton and Lambert announced their divorce. The couple released a statement. "This is not the future we envisioned, and it is with heavy heart that we move forward separately. We are real people with real lives, with real family, friends and colleagues. Therefore, we kindly ask for privacy and compassion concerning this very personal matter." Their divorce was finalized later that same day. In November 2015, it was announced that Shelton had started dating his colleague from The Voice, Gwen Stefani. In 2015, Forbes estimated Shelton's annual income at $28.5 million. On a June 6, 2017 HLN special called Our Journeys Home, Shelton and HLN Morning Express host Robin Meade were revealed to be fourth cousins. Record as coach on The Voice. Shelton has been a coach on NBC's The Voice since its inception in 2011, and has won 5 times more than any other coach. Brought to you by WikiVidi.com. Would you like to know more?